So before the start of the National League season, I made some bold predictions, some predictions that I thought were possible, but probably quite unlikely in the grand scheme of things to actually happen. But that's the point of these predictions, just stick my neck out on the line, kind of state my case for these points, why they would happen, and now is the time to actually look over these predictions and see how I'm doing just over halfway through the National League season. At 24 games have been played for most sides. Some sides have played considerably less due to fixtures being postponed, but this is about the halfway point of the season. We end 2024 with the National League season table looking like this so far this season. Let's dive in, guys. Let's have a look at my bold predictions and how they're actually doing partway through this season. So my first prediction was for Tamworth to stay up. Tamworth, of course, recently promoted as champions of the National League North, and currently they look pretty good. The bottom 4 sides get relegated from the National League, so you need to finish anywhere between 21st and 24th. And Tamworth are currently in 15th, but indeed they've had an incredible FA Cup run so far as well, knocking out Huddersfield Town from League One, 2 divisions above them. They are currently 7 points ahead of Maidenhead United, who are in 21st, so I think they're going to be fine. I mean, they're not safe by any means, of course, but I think they're looking good. They're in much better form, of course, than the sides at the bottom of the division, so I think they'll be fine. I think Tamworth will be good. So prediction 1 looking good. Prediction 2 not looking quite as good, I would say. Oldham Athletic, I had them not to go up. Now the reasons for this were just basically the fact that I just felt like there's better sides in the National League than them. Oldham and Rochdale, the 2 sides that, they got some decent support, but for some reason they just seem to be really struggling. I feel like there's a bit of a knock-on effect to the likes of Man City and Man United doing so well in Greater Manchester that a lot of sides further, just outside on the peripheries of all that do suffer because they don't get the local support. That's another bigger issue that I'm not going to touch on in this. That's a bigger issue in football in general in England, really. But that's an issue I'm not going to get into here. The fact remains, though, that Oldham are still in it with a shot of being promoted, and promoted automatically actually as well. So they're actually in 5th place at the moment. They are 6 points behind Barnet. Now, to get promoted automatically from the National League, you have to win it. Teams that finish between 2nd and 7th positions, they all go into the playoffs, and a very much expanded playoffs that work slightly differently to the EFL. But like I said, they're in 5th place at the moment. They are, to not get in the playoffs, they would have to finish 8th or lower, so they are currently 7 points ahead of FC Halifax Town, who are in 8th. And Oldham as well have at least 2 games in hand on every team around them. In fact, if they win their games in hand, they would go to the top of the division. So they are very much not out of it at all, and they are looking likely for at least a playoff spot. I did think I said that they would get into the playoffs, that it is possible, so we'll see what happens. I mean, you have to be the best out of 6 different sides, unless you're Gateshead, and presumably you won't actually be in the playoffs because your ground doesn't meet EFL regulations, which is a farcical situation from the EFL. It'd be great to see Gateshead in the Football League, in my opinion, but I don't see anything wrong with their stadium. I've been to some terrible stadiums in my time that are EFL compliant, so I don't see why Gateshead wouldn't be. But anyway, enough of that rant. Oldham go up, looking a bit shaky. Southend United were another side that were one of the bookies' favourites to go up this season, and I had them to not go up. Currently, they sit in 14th place in the division, and that is on pure points as well. They don't have any points deductions this season so far. The ownership situation, I believe, has been resolved now, which is great for them. So at least they've stabilised. You didn't want to see them get relegated again or something like that. So to see them, at least stable in division is something, but going up, I cannot see it. They'd have to catch Solihull Moors. They're 8 points ahead of Solihull Moors. It's not over by any means, but it's unlikely. Looking at their form currently, I would say that they are probably going to stay in National League for next season. But I did have Forest Green Rovers to go up. Now, I did not have them to win the division. I think I actually said that Barnet would. I think I might have got that right as things stand, but it can all change in an instant. Like I said, Oldham have got a lot of games in hand, and Forest Green Rovers are only 2 points off the top, with a game in hand as well. So if they win their game in hand and York don't win their game in hand, who are in 2nd, then Forest Green Rovers will be in the top of the table. I had them to go up through the playoffs. I thought they'd bounce back after 2 consecutive relegations like that, and looking pretty good. So FC Vegan doing a decent job so far this season. Oh, but boy, my last prediction is looking pretty bad. I had Hartlepool to go up, partly because I love Jeff Stelling, because I miss him. I want to support his team from far away, just in spirit rather than financially, of course. But yeah, Hartlepool Pools are not looking good. They're in 13th place at the moment. In fairness, they're only 5 points off of Solihull Moors. But I don't think they're going up. I don't see it. I don't really see it. They could make a late run to the playoffs, of course, but that's not looking too great. Although the points gap is not as big as the table would suggest. So there we go, guys. Mixed bag. None of those looking like they're not going to happen. I think Hartlepool going up is the most tentative one, but we'll see what happens with that. And of course, for other prediction reactions, I've done my reactions to my preseason predictions for all the EFL leagues, so the Championship, League 1, League 2, and I will be doing the same for the Premier League as well when they get to the midpoint of the season after Arsenal play against Brentford on New Year's Day. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you want some fun, if you want to see me do some really bad predictions, go over to my League 1 predictions. They are an absolute state. I was miles off with that division, but come on. You can't be perfect every time. You can't. That's predictions. It'd be dumb to predict that I would have been, and I certainly didn't think that these were going to be that accurate, but National League not looking too bad. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas, guys, and we'll see you soon in 2025 in the new year. And depending on the platform, it might already be 2025 by the time you watch this. So yeah, welcome in that case. Have a good one, guys. See you very soon.